Which one of you, having 100 sheep and losing one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go and find the one that is lost until he finds it? Or what woman, having 10 silver coins, if she loses one of them, does not light a lamp, sweep the house, and search carefully until he finds it? When she's found it, she calls together her friends and neighbors, saying, "Rejoice." There are some strange things going on in these parables that Jesus teaches us today, as there often are in the parables. So if we think about this, right, Jesus says, which of you, as though the behavior he's about to describe is completely normal. Which one of you wouldn't do this, basically? Which one of you wouldn't leave your 99 sheep in the wilderness to go after the one? Which of you would not go and leave your other coins to search everywhere and then throw a party when you found it? So in both of these stories, right, we have people who are willing to sacrifice what they have in order to find the one piece, the fraction of what they have. And in both, at the end, they celebrate with great joy when they found them. The shepherd throws a party. The woman who has found the coin throws a party. And it's pretty likely, we don't know, but pretty likely that the shepherd throwing this big party for everyone in the neighborhood might have been feasting on one of those very sheep, right? And so left then with 99 again. And the woman throwing a party, after she's found her one coin, that party probably cost more than the one coin. And so it's a sort of strange thing, right? That so much effort has been gone into finding the one piece, the one sheep, and then to throw a big celebration that takes up more resources than that one piece, that one sheep. And so that is what I think is so interesting about these parables. We often focus on, and rightly so, the aspect of the sinner being found by God, of God going and being willing to go the extra distance to find the one sinner and not the 99 faithful. But what I think is so interesting is the abundance of resources put into the celebration after the fact. And that's because, and for that reason rather I should say, these two parables, along with the parable of the prodigal son which follows, are collectively referred to oftentimes as the parables of great joy. And so I think that is, for me, the most captivating part of these parables is the great joy that is celebrated at the end, the great joy that comes from the effort to find the one that is lost, the great joy that comes from finding that one and celebrating and saying, this one was lost and is now found. So, it makes me think about all the effort that goes into saving the one among the 99. For example, it makes me think about heroes from World War II. Heroes like Oskar Schindler, who gave his fortune to save his factory workers. He didn't start out a hero. He started out as an opportunist and a war criminal, frankly, who was trying to profit off of cheap labor from Jewish prisoners of war. But he experienced a transformation to the point, if you've seen the film Schindler's List, where he's falling apart crying because he couldn't save one more. And he points to his car and he says, that could have saved 10 more people. He points to his gold Nazi lapel pin and he says, this could have saved one more. And of course his secretary Stern says, but you've saved so many. And there's 1,200 people alive today because of you. But For Schindler, it was not enough, and yet he did save that percentage, right? That one among the 99, the 1,200 amidst the several million. And even though he was terribly sad in that scene, there was so much joy in the fact that 1,200 would be alive because of him. And also it makes me think of another hero, somewhat less known, but a resident of our own state, Varian Fry, who was a journalist and a humanitarian worker, and set out to rescue artists and intellectuals who were in France, having escaped from other parts of the Nazi realm. And so thanks to him, people like Hannah Arendt and Max Ernst and Otto Meyerhoff, the researcher, are alive today because of him, and also many thousands of others are alive thanks to him and to the effort he started with what would become eventually the International Rescue Committee, which of course works with refugees in conflict-affected countries today even. And so even though they could not save all the people who had been affected by that terrible war, they could do something. And there's great joy in that, in the effort to go after the one amidst the 99. Now, when we think about our own lives, right, we can think about the fact that, there's so many things that we aren't able to achieve. But that's, I think, the wrong way of thinking about it. It's like, what are we able to achieve, though? What are we able to achieve when we go after the one amidst the 99? Now, this number, the 99, the 1, the 100, when you add together 1 and 99, this actually has roots in Jewish mysticism. And so the number 100 is a completion. It's a complete number. And so when Jesus is talking about the 1 and the 99, he's saying that this is a group, this collection of sheep, that is only complete with all 100. And so that's why the shepherd goes after the one and leaves the 99 behind. But of course, the 99 who left behind, they're left without shelter, they're left without protection in this effort to go after the one. And so that's why in our traditional thinking about this, it represents the lengths God goes to, that Christ went to in his life to save the one, the sinner, the tax collectors and sinners he dined with, for example, instead of the righteous, the Pharisees and the scribes and all those who already knew what a God-centered life was about. And instead, Jesus went after the ones who were lost, the ones who needed community, the ones who needed a little extra help in figuring out the right path. And so he was criticized by many in his day because he said, "Why are you welcoming these people who are sinners?" And Jesus said, "No, you see, I have to go after the one sheep, not the 99. And so, like that, we think of how God, through us, because we are God's hands and feet in this world, God, through us, has to go after the one amidst the 99. We have to find the one who is marginalized in our community, the one who's left behind. Not necessarily the sinner, but the one who is a victim, the victim of injustice, the one who's left behind by our economic system that works for many, the 99, but not for all, right? Not, and in our case, it doesn't work for the 99, but anyway, the one who is very much left behind in the system, the one who needs the extra help. And then there is rejoicing when we have found the one amidst the 99, because that one is so precious. And indeed, without that one, the 99 are not complete. And so it's a metaphor for us, for our common life together as a church, as a community, as a human family, that we always have to go after and find and seek to be in solidarity with that one, the one who is left behind. And then we have to celebrate. We have to take great joy in that one, in that completion then. And so that even when we have to expend resources to celebrate this reunification, this reunion, this coming together again, this finding of the one, it is worth doing. It's sort of like Jesus said in Scripture when Judas complained about the expense that went into the ointment that was put onto him. He said, I'm not always with you. And so this celebration is special for the one who gave it, and special for all of us. We have to put in our resources not only in helping one another and standing in solidarity with one another, but then in celebrating the fact that we've done that. We could spend our lives endlessly giving and giving and giving, and that's a wonderful thing. But we have to then also celebrate that giving. We have to celebrate life. And so that, to me, is a lesson to take from those who were heroes in World War II, that they sacrificed much, but then it's important to celebrate the lives that they rescued, not all the ones they could not reach. And just so, I think also about, though many of us have experienced our own lifetimes, the terrible events of September 11th, which is, of course, the anniversary today, this very day, 21 years ago, those events of September 11th. And we give thanks for the sacrifices that so many gave in order to save the one amidst the 99, those who were trapped, to go and try to rescue them. And many gave their lives for that. And so we honor them and remember them. And remember all those who perished, who didn't make it out. And we remember those who perpetrated the crimes as well. Of course, we do not celebrate them. But we remember the brokenness that they experienced in their humanity, the lack of compassion they felt, the hate they felt. And the solution to that is not to give in to hate and to hate them, to hate the religion in whose name they did their acts, although that religion certainly does not countenance those acts. It's not to hate the countries from which they came from. It's not to demonize an entire people or religion, but rather it's to pray for the brokenness that they experienced, what led them to do those terrible things. And it's to celebrate the heroism with which first responders acted on that day and the weeks to come. It's to celebrate the one amidst the 99. And so we could take from September 11th the lesson that we need to take revenge, that we need to bring war to those who are bad actors. And sometimes that, of course, is the thing that has to happen. But most importantly, what we need to do is we need to work so that those types of things don't happen again. We need to build bridges of peace. We need to show love and compassion. And we need to celebrate heroism. We need to celebrate life. For that is the only way to bring about healing in our human family, is to reject violence and embrace peace. Of course, there are justifications for war, as we can see in different events we could point to. But the solution is always to try to go from war, seek other solutions, to try to end those conflicts as soon as we can, and work towards peace, to work towards understanding, to work towards the siblinghood of humanity. For we're all one human family, all God's children together. And so in these parables of great joy, the greatest joy is in the extravagant love God goes to find us wherever we are on our journey, lost or found, and to be in solidarity with those who have been lost and found, to be in solidarity with all the one human family, and to celebrate, to use all of our resources, not only to address solutions, address problems, to find solutions, but then to celebrate our life together, to share joy with one another. And so I look to these parables of great joy as inspiration for how to live, not only in service to one another, which is very important, but also how to celebrate, how to live life in the moment, to say, yes, there is work that still needs to be done, but we must take a moment to also celebrate what has been given to us, what we have found, the joy that God brings to us in our life through one another, through our presence with one another. So this day, I invite us to reflect, of course, on the one among the 99 who needs to be found. But I also invite us to reflect on how we will celebrate the one and the 99, how we'll celebrate all of us together, how we'll celebrate our common life as a congregation, as a community, as a human family. How will we reject violence and hatred and instead embrace love, unity, peace? How will we complete our human family, the one plus the 99, with acts not only of service, but of great joy and celebration? That is God's great gift to us. Joy. Weeping may spend the night, the psalmist tells us, but joy comes in the morning. And so on this day, the solemn day, we remember a terrible tragedy in our country. May we also remember that joy comes again. Joy comes through serving one another. Joy comes through standing in solidarity with one another. Joy comes through acts of peace building. Joy comes from reaching out to those in the margins and bringing them in to our human family, our community. Weeping may spend the night, but joy comes in the morning. And so this day, even as we mourn, even as we remember, may we also celebrate life, celebrate God's love, and may we experience joy. Amen.